was thinking somebody was waking up, but I appeared to be wrong. So I just wanted to make sure, but because didn't want tired kids coming out and everything. So anyway, I'm yeah, this is gonna get cut. Well, not what I'm saying, but because I forcefully cut the stream. Yeah, I'm sorry, and Android, I thought somebody was coming, and because if I was gonna be having wake uppers, I didn't want to be streaming while they were coming out if there was a nightmare or something. So I'm just gonna be mindlessly rescuing more followers, grabbing possibly some of the side quests along. I mean, in this game here, the side questing system is not really that interesting because what it gives you is money, or the in-game currencies that isn't premium, and I already have almost 2 million. So I have an abundance of that, which means I don't need that. It cannot make me stronger. I can use it to buy skins, and I will gladly show you what types of skins it can show up. It can convert into. So here we have them. Costumes. These things here that cost credit cards are the ones I can buy. So there are definitely some nicely made skins. That is not it at all. But not like. Is this a rave party? Are you kidding me? We can go with classic underwear. I mean, that's nice, but even though I made a character that I find visually appealing, and she is not less appealing in underwear, would I be playing around with her like this? No, I don't need that in my life, even though she's a cutie. I mean, some of these are pretty awesome. I think there is something wrong with this. No, she is supposed to have one boob uncovered. I'm not a game designer. Well, that was interesting. So these things, like a million, and the Cryomancer, like all of these warrior claws, berserker claws, lightbinder, I have these because I've played the characters and unlocked them. So I don't really need to actually also buy these because all the expensive ones I already have. And that is pretty much what I can. Now we're going into diamonds, or argents as they're called here. So, and if we look at resources, they all cost diamonds. If I look into events, it's empty. Consumables, I have a little bit stuff here I can use, but it goes into these also semi-grindy, half premium kind of currencies that you can earn only a few of every day. So money in this game. Of course my background is a hot anime babe. Of course she is. I think she is. Let's check it out. I mean, I do swap it every once in a while. Yeah, it is. This is one of the characters from my manga. Actually, she is the artist that I had working on my manga comic. I asked him to draw me a Christmas present with 3 of my favorite characters from my comic, and unfortunately some things happened with our working relationship that meant not all projects got ended, so I only have like the drafts of it and some of the almost done sketches. So that's like really I'm not that happy about that, because some of the things that I wanted also for me, just for fun, not really meant for like general audience. I would have liked to see a bit more of that done, but yeah, I'm really happy about the things that we did manage to get made as a partnership, or whatever we should call it, with the same artist. I would have liked everything to be made with the same artist, but it just wasn't meant to be. Unfortunately. Time to die. Yeah, hot anime babe confirmed. But I mean, she is a female, and actually in my comic, as in as in most mangas or animes, they're like themed with characters growing up, which means that the characters in my stories obviously start out very young, and so I asked my my artist to draw an adult version because I wanted that. I needed that in my life. Oh yes, I did. Of course, I was hoping to be able to continue with the series until they actually grew up, but yeah, perhaps if I become a millionaire at some point, it's gonna happen. Gonna have the longest manga that nobody reads, just because. I do not know what creepypastas is. I don't even know if we're talking about a band or if it is a genre or a website. I am completely unfamiliar with the term or name. The truth is, I don't really listen to as much music any longer as I did, because being crammed together in a small apartment with 6 people, I mean, I kind of like to listen to music loud. So when I do listen to music, it's with my headphones, or like when I'm sitting in a bus or something like that, then yeah, I pop on SoundCloud or something and listen to some of the artists that I follow. And I think I actually spend a lot more time trying to like discover new tracks by artists that I follow instead of just listening to the stuff that I know I like already. Horror stories. I'm not good with horror. I'm really bad with horror. Like, so, well, I perhaps not as much horror, but like if we go to where we call it psychological thrillers, then I mean, if you want to see a grown man wet himself, then some of those really get under my bones like crazy. And the worst part is I kind of watch some of them anyway, but yeah, like crazy stuff. Especially if they go all like the ones that go either like mental crazy people or religious fanaticism and stuff like that, then I just, yeah, that really hits me. I don't know why. It's like there are so many things I can see from like murder and slaughter, and also like the get scared kind of boo and somebody jumps from behind. That doesn't touch me at all. And like monsters and aliens, like nothing. But once we go into the psychological thrillers, I'm just a nerve wrack, like completely. Alright, so nothing here. I'm gonna take this one out. The city captured by Mantides has been liberated. Again. As a speaker, yeah. I mean, growing up, I was always told that I should be working in a radio station because people thought I had a good radio voice, and I don't really know if I have, but it's really weird. One of the things I discovered when I started on YouTube is that I had never really put any thought into how different a voice sounds when you hear it from other people's perspective, because like when I heard myself the first time on a video I recorded, I deleted it because that wasn't me. I figured something had to be wrong with the recording equipment because I sounded so unlike myself. And then I made another and it was the same, and I grabbed a hold of my wife and I was like, there's something wrong here. And she's like, no, that's exactly how you sound. But I mean, between the distortion from our bones and all that stuff, distance to our ears, I actually had to look it up, and it is pretty crazy how different you sound in your own head than when you record yourself and hear it. So like perhaps you think you don't have a good reading voice or something, but it could be amazing for others. I think it's a bit weird, really, because you have had your voice the entire life, and of course it changes a few times, but like if anybody knows how you sound, it should be yourself, because who else would be the expert? And then you're just like so off. It's it's kind of funny, I think.
Combat log created.
Oh, I don't understand.
Oh, I don't understand. Well, just give me some followers. That's all I want. Give me followers. Find free followers. Must have power. Not enough power. Get to the sky deck. Yeah, we will. I'm just looking for followers first. Don't be rude. Give me followers. Just looking here. Yeah, I mean, I can understand your perspective, because I have been I've been a homemaker or self-employed or whatever you should call it for almost my entire life, and I have been doing so in the hiding. I wanted to be as anonymous as possible. I didn't want anybody to know who I was or where I lived, and I mainly made websites both for like myself but also for others. Some pretty big stuff actually, and it would always be like I wouldn't be listed as the owner, it would be the company, and every text I wrote would be like we, and my picture was nowhere, and it would be really hard for people to find out who was behind, not because I had anything to hide, but because I didn't want people to be able to look me up. I didn't want to be like disturbed by anything really. I just wanted to be living in my own little safe world, and didn't want to be like, I didn't want to put myself out there, and that worked out amazingly for me, both in terms of nobody ever found me except customers of course and all that stuff, but it then at some point I took part in some online marketing traffic exchange system that I had been seeing growing up from being a tiny bit website to a huge brand, and the owners were doing like some seminars or whatever you should call them online about putting yourself out there, like making yourself a brand, not because you necessarily wanted to be famous, but because when there is a face to something, when there is a person, it's just a lot different than if it's just a brand name or something, because you can actually connect with people, and not just in terms of business relationships, but it suddenly becomes so much more than just a web page and a customer, or a client and a developer, or something like that. And I was thinking quite a bit about those things and started reading quite a few books about similar topics, and then I figured, all right, let's just try it out. Let's just try crazy. Like, I've been hiding my entire life, also because like I think not everybody, some people really like their own appearance, but I've never considered myself to be one of those really well-cut, amazingly looking people, or perhaps my age is really not within what it should be in a given anything, you know. So, but I figured, to hell with it, or anywhere else. Let's just do it, and I never really regretted it. It was really weird starting out, going from hiding all the time to being, this is me, this is my real name, this is how I actually look. No weird masks or faces, not trying to be somebody besides who I am. And it has been really nice, because it means now that when I'm talking with someone, they know who I am and what I stand for, and I never need to think about, should I be saying something and sound really objective because I'm representing my website now, or like my YouTube channel, should I always wear a green shirt because green is the theme color for my channel and stuff like that. Just so it has been really nice. But then again, I'm not really having one of those huge channels where you're making money. But still, I never really regretted that decision. It has been really freeing to just completely be yourself and being completely honest about what you like and don't like and do and don't do. It's nice. Yeah, but I mean, doing an American accent, why would you change the way you sound? Because if it is who you are, then that's what it is. I mean, I could also try to change the way I pronounce things, because I have this really weird mixture of Danish English and semi-British words mixed with international English, and but I think in the world we live in now, nobody really cares. I mean, when I grew up and we learned English, it was like you had to either speak British English or American English. And I think now that we have this huge online world, people just like make it and break through without even being able to speak properly English. Perhaps they have a like very small vocabulary, but they just burn through anyway. And I think very few people think about whether or not they pronounce the words with one accent or the other, or like, is this Canadian English perhaps, or is this an English from the States, from a given state or area? Like, only people in that part of the world would even know it. Like, for most people in Denmark, they would be unable to distinguish between accents from many different states in America. Because it's all just English to us, whether it's one from Germany or Austria or Denmark or like anywhere in the world, because we haven't really grown up with it as our main language. So I don't think it matters really in the big picture for the big population. But of course, if you're like really focused on the people that it does matter to, then I guess it's the world. I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I don't know how it sounds, but
Capturing landscape panorama.
I mean, have you ever seen some of the pro gamers stream or play? Because I mean, it has been a while since I saw pro game streams, but I have seen. Is it Estonian Hearthstone player that is or was like really huge? And there are definitely also some first-person shooter players. Like, they don't hold back. And why would they? Because they're not showcasing that they have spent their entire life studying English. They're showing what they're good at and what they do that they're really skilled at. And I don't think anybody looking at a pro player or a very funny person or whatever you might be interesting based on, and then they would be considering your accent instead. I really don't think so, but I could be like so wrong.
Efficiency 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm digging back into Hearthstone, but it has changed quite a bit, so I don't really know that much about it either. But it has been really fun to kick back with it for quite a few hours actually again. But I like the concept, but it got a bit redundant for me to play, because I felt like I was doing the same things, playing against the same type of decks and the same type of play styles all the time really. But they have changed that now. Now they just broke it in another way, but I mean, it's Blizzard, so what could you expect? They try their best, I know, like it's so hard to please everyone, but I'm not really happy with their game design decisions.
Victory details.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. That must be amazing. Dota 2 pro player. Yeah. I mean, there are people really crushing it as gamers. I mean, there are quite a few people making it with League of Legends as well. I know still, despite it being like a really old game. uh, so, is he a pro player, as in making money from tournaments, or from streaming and sharing his gaming experience? You like, I guess both really count. I mean, you can be a pro player that's really bad to like in terms of strategies and not really win that much, but be super funny for people to look at, and I guess it makes you pro anyway if you are making a living on it. If it is your profession, then you're pro, even if you're bad. Tournaments, yeah. I think for many players, they consider tournaments being like, if you make enough money from tournaments or from a sponsor, then you're a pro player. I think that's how. I mean, I have no idea, but I can imagine that a lot of people think like that about the pro title. Where I'm like, it doesn't really matter how you get the money. If you do it because of the game you're playing, then you're a pro gamer. If it's a sponsorship, if it's streaming, it doesn't really matter. If you make your income, then you're pro.
Extreme caution recommended.
4 a.m. Oh yeah, it's 3 a.m. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I actually also should have been sleeping, but
Dangerous enemy neutralized.
I really wanted to do this grind because I will not get stronger unless I do that. Well, I mean, yeah, I could do what everybody else does and do dungeons, but I felt like doing this the grindy way. I also haven't made a guild in here or anything yet. I've just been going. I have been trying out the PvP. I have been trying out group play, so it's not like I haven't played with anyone else in here because I really have. But in terms of like my progression, I want to feel like I did it on my own. Like the goal is to become a divine being, and you do that, and I'm like one map in the game from that, and then you get a halo and stuff. You become a god, and I want to have done that on my own. I don't really know why, but it's just a game goal for me. Don't let others carry you towards divinity. I want to become a god on my own. So silly. Well, to be honest, I'm not really that much of a sports guy, and it's really it's one of those really crappy stories where I have been,
Dangerous enemy detected.
like, growing up, I have been always massively overweighty during my years as a child, so I've never really been a sporty person.
Added to personal file.
I have been really large, and that kind of affects your view upon sports. But I have tried different sports, of course, also for exercising, and then I discovered that sports and me were just not meant to be, because I am very loose jointed, like crazy snake person, loose jointed, and of course I knew that growing up, but I didn't really consider what it meant for me in terms of sports. So I tried out gymnastics once, and the first time I jumped over a thing and landed on my feet, I broke my little toe 3 times on the same joint. Then I tried once to hit a boxing ball, and I broke my wrist. I mean, I can just go on. Every time I've tried a sport, I break something. It's not meant to be. And I don't know if this can actually be seen on the cam, but I can take my thumb, and like I can just turn it around like that. Yeah. So me and sports, we're not good friends. I mean, if I were to select a sport, it would be something like chess, because I don't think I can get hurt playing chess, but perhaps even chess would prove me wrong. That's so, like, so many broken things throughout the years just for trying, never really getting into stuff, just completely demolishing my body because I thought I should try out some sport. So Oh yeah, Formula One, of course. Why didn't I think about that? Why didn't I think about that? Well, I mean, there is of course a difference between what sports a person likes and what they actively enjoy, participate in. So yeah, I was interpreting it as if I was like into some type of sports, but that doesn't work out for me. It's like no go. So I'm one of those, I can give all the good advice, but if I even consider taking part, I'm just gonna break. I think you would beat me in chess as well. I have never I mean I have played chess, don't get me wrong. I have never gotten into chess. I have been more of like I found out that I could use math in terms of poker, and then I took that route instead. But I love math games, like silly. One of my major assignments I selected for the university was also to make like a Sudoku AI that played against another Sudoku AI that we made. So I really like these crazy hardcore math games. Like I'm so geeky about it, but I don't have a lot of actual gaming experience with it. But I mean anything that can be mathematicized or whatever it should be called, I love it. What do we have there? Also not better stuff. Alright, so let's see what we're up at in terms of this stuff here. 2889, yeah, so I am pretty far from having done the 100 still. 9 minutes yet on that stuff. Alright, well, it wasn't because I didn't want to grind more, I was just curious about how much I had been grinding. Oh, you don't get Sudoku? I think I love Sudoku. Like, so geeky about it. But it actually wasn't Sudoku I wanted to say, because Sudoku is the crosswords math game, and I do like that. But that was not what we did. It was what is it called? It's not tic-tac-toe. It's called like wow, I'm just so blank here at 3 a.m. Like it's so crazy. It's called Go, like the large version of the game, as far as I remember. What's it called? Is it called Gomoko? Wow. I mean, and this is pretty embarrassing because we spent like 4 months developing AIs to play it, and isn't it called Gomoku? I think it's called Gomoku. It is like another one of those games. Like 3 in a row just with 5. I think it's called Gomoku, I really do, but now I'm just like way too tired to think. Well, I mean, if it's 4 a.m. then typing is allowed to have gone anywhere in the world at once. It doesn't really matter. I actually feel about typing the same way as what I do about accents. Of course, if you're writing some official text or something, you want it to be perfect. But if you're just like doing normal talking, as long as people understand, I think. I mean, wow. I mean, sometimes I've also at YouTube, I've been writing like video descriptions and I've been having typos in it, and of course it's not super pro, but sometimes those things are being written at beep at night because you just wanted to have it ready because you know some people are gonna be like waking up and would like to check it out, and it's better to get it out there than to wait, I feel anyway, and make sure that it is without a single wrong grammar thing. Yeah, that's I think but then again, I've really taken the turn from only do something if it is completely 512% okay to it's better to do something than to geek so much about it that you never get it done. Because that was really what I was doing before. I would never put something out there until I was 800% sure that everything was like perfect and I had complete control over everything. And I also think that's one of the reasons why I really failed with my comic, because if I had been the smart guy, I would have made a pilot, or I would have made like the first chapter, and I would have sent it out, and I would have found a sparring partner and said, all right, I want to publish this, I want you guys to help me, what do I need to do? but no, I had to make a 1,000-page comic without telling anybody about it, just to find out I did something bad. Even though I did everything the way I wanted, so of course no regrets, but I mean, if I had been consulting with others before and just, I made this, what do you guys think? And that's it, dude, make it black and white. Alright, it would have been half price for me, and possibly it would have been published. But yeah. Alright, thank you very much for dropping by. I mean, go look at those hot anime babes. There is, I mean, what else in life could make any meaning than look at hot babes? Drone or not drone, it doesn't matter. It's like, that's what it's all about. Thank you very much for dropping by, and have an absolutely amazing night's sleep, or like what's left of it. I'm probably gonna be crashing in somewhere between 15 minutes and an hour as well. I need to grind a little bit more. Oh yes, I do. And look at hot anime chicks. But I mean, I do have her in front of me, and I mean, I can zoom in if I wanted to, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I do hope to check you out tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be streaming a bit more now that we're hitting the weekend, but it also depends on family life, because I also want to be doing stuff with the kids and the missus, so yeah, like casual chill, really. Die, clan leader, ferocious Liara. Yeah, down with ya. Quest complete. And we have a follower. Great stuff. Oh, these followers are slow today. I feel like I'm being undercut my share of followers. But it's okay. It just means more grinding. And that's good. More grinding is always better. Just... Alright, let's just ninja into one more before... No. We need to grind here. Just trailblaze through it. Don't really care about the rewards, just followers for the win. All the followers are belong to me. No. There we have her. Hello, follower. Well, one. It's so much cooler when they drop in 5s, but I mean, it's okay. As long as there are 5 times as many. No, we don't really care. I should be looking at how many map fragments I have, because part of me really wants it to go like all in crazy and do 10,000. No, I have 411. What about chests? 112. Yeah, so still a way until I'll do like a massive crazy unboxing session, because I want to see how deep the rabbit hole is if you have loads of those, because in the chest you can find treasure, map, fragments for higher tier chests, and you need 10 of each, and in those you can find treasure map chests for higher tiers, and I just thought it would be really cool to have like 1,000 or more, and just see how many of the normal really bad ones do you need to be able to make one chest that has something really interesting in it. So that is actually why I still have all these map fragments and stuff just lying around, waiting to be had fun with. So yeah, I'm thinking I want a few thousand before I convert them into chests that can be opened. That's the plan anyway. And I will see. At some point I may just really be like, alright, now we're gonna do it. We're gonna open it all. We'll see. We'll see when we'll see when we'll see. Like that. Alright, let's throw this thing. Can we throw it all the way up there? Yeah, we can. Oh yeah, we can. Time to die. Boom. And more wing fighters down. Like that. So, come on. Now I was actually thinking, now I know that's not gonna happen today because the grinding of followers is way too slow for that, but I would like to reach the 28,000 prestige because that is actually when I can
Victory details added to
use my
personal
relic
file.
the next time. This one here, the reliquary, 28,000 prestige. Then I can open it, and that kind of means it's like the game's way of telling me that I have gained a new level, because we don't have levels as such in this game, which is one of the things I really like. But we do have that as a bit of a milestone that we can lead on to see like how much power do I have ish. And I was thinking, when I have those 28,000, that is when I'm gonna be attacking the boss the next time, because I started out at 20,000 and I just didn't really have what was required power wise to deal with it. So yeah, I'm gonna try the next time when I've ranked up, gotten enough power to open that reliquary. Then I should be strong enough, I hope anyway. But I guess we'll see. I'm definitely gonna try, because I need to move forward so that I can become a divine being. Well, I am a divine being, but so that I can become a god in the game. That is the goal right now anyway. As I learn more about the game, I may get new goals, but right now the goal is to become a god, a true god. And I also think that is where the tutorial ends, but this is like the longest tutorial I have ever seen in any game. It is pretty crazy. It is a tutorial that lasts for, I think, months of normal gaming. Very, very extensive. And I like that. Oh yes I do. Oh yes I do. So do we have in here? Oh, we'll check when it's done.
Maximum.
We'll check when this one is down. Yeah, time to die.
Dangerous
Quest complete.
enemy neutralized.
Oh yes it is. Pick it up. Stun charges. So, no followers here? Oh, that was rude. Because I wanted more followers. But no. Alright, let's just complete it like that. Mantides. Go away, Mantides. Do I need to clean up first? I think I do. Just so we don't start running slower. Away with that stuff there. And that. Alright, so let us just see how far we are with... Alright. What's that? 25 progression points. Do I get that from doing it once? I do not understand. This is a really, 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 really weird system, because you need to, like, you spend 1 point and then do I get 25? Alright, so I got a reward. Wow. I was thinking I had to... Yeah, free premium. And knowledge of enemies. Alright. That was a huge surprise. Alright. Oh well, we're gonna send in. This is a new event that just started like a day ago, and the way it looked at me was that unless you spent thousands of gems on it, you wouldn't be able to progress, because I could put in 1 point every 8 hours, and it's only lasting 14 days. So I was like, alright, that's 42 days, 42 points, so I would only be able to reach this part here and not get any of the interesting rewards that start here at 350 points. But for some reason I now got 25 free points, and I don't understand why. There is no good explanation for how this is working. But this was really cool, because now I know that I can at least reach this point, even though this is where it gets interesting. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to be streaming a little bit in Skyforge every day, and hopefully I will be learning more and more about how this works, so that I can share in a bit of details. But yeah, I mean, just trying to do the activations every 8 hours is probably gonna be a bit problematic. So this did not replenish, so it's not a new game day. I do not understand. 2903. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just restarted this new thing here, which means that in 8 hours I need to do it again, and I think that pretty much means this is a good time for me to crawl to sleep so that I can be up and running for that. So thank you guys very much for watching, like the beats, and yeah, I'm sorry, and Droidemat, thank you guys very much for chilling here with me for huge amount of time at the middle of the night. Well, at least where you and I live, the beats, but not for you, Android, because I do believe you're from the States. At least you have the same time zone as MJG Cookie had, so that's why I'm thinking in those levels, but yeah, I may be wrong, and yeah, then I'm sorry. But anyway, guys, that was what I had to share this time around from Skyforge. As always, guys, very much for watching. I'm just gonna be cutting the stream out here because I need to do that with this program, so it's a bit sad, but thank you guys